We want to move on now to one of the concerns we talked about in moderate stage can be weight loss. So sources of weight loss, those kind of triggers, are that what we call pre-morbid, before the disease state concern with weight and eating habits. Remember, as time goes on, the person needs distant supervision, closer supervision, setup, and physical assistance. And if we've missed that stage where they need more cues to help them eat, or to put the fork or spoon in their hand and to help them get started with eating, or to keep them focused. Sometimes people will even fall asleep in the middle of eating, and we need to remind them. Or perceptually, they're not perceiving all of the food on their plate. Maybe we need to be scraping the food into the middle of the plate, or turning the plate around. These are all missed opportunities, and if we don't catch those, we're going to see the weight loss. Diabetic management certainly is one of the big triggers for weight loss. So we have this conflict with your endocrinologist who wants to keep the blood sugars down around 120, and those of us in the dementia field who say, we're relaxing the standards here. As time goes on, remember I said people have changes in food preferences. They move towards sweets. They stop eating certain foods, particularly salads or vegetables, tougher cuts of meat, and they gravitate more towards comfort foods and to softer foods with time. If we're insisting on that perfect balanced diet, we're in conflict with where their tastes are going to be. A key part of what can affect appetite certainly is just diminished senses. So as we get older, our sense of smell may not be as great, for instance. The sense of taste may not be as acute or as sharp as it would have been. So that certainly can contribute. Depression, right? Some people feed depression, but a lot of people starve depression. I feel sad. I don't even have the energy to summon to eat, so weight loss can be seen. And as we talk now about the eating strategies, how do we improve eating and appetite? When those aren't working and we're still seeing weight loss despite all of our best efforts, then our last option is to consider failure to thrive. Is this more that we're looking at nearing sort of the end of life in Alzheimer's disease, that our best efforts are not helping them hold on to the calories and they're just losing weight? Or is there something going on medically? Let's not forget that we're still coexisting with other disease states or illnesses just by virtue of aging. So is it possible that there's something like a cancer process going on somewhere in the body, depending on how quickly the weight is falling off, for instance? So let's remember, first of all, that eating is a very social activity. We all tend to do better when there are other people around us. We tend to fix better meals when we're fixing for a group of people than we do for ourselves. So we want to create the opportunity. Rather than have them sit by themselves, let's sit down with them, or let's invite family or friends to come in and sit with them, or let's go out to eat, because oftentimes that's a trigger to get people to eat. If I have somebody who's kind of more concerned with their weight and how they say they're not hungry and food looks overwhelming, I might do things like have smaller, more frequent meals during the day. So whatever they'll eat at breakfast, but then I'm going to offer a mid-morning snack, lunch, mid-afternoon snack, dinner, and then a bowl of ice cream after dinner. So it never looks like they're getting a lot of food, but we're stretching those calories throughout the day. I may also trick them, and rather than put the food on a dinner-sized plate, put it on a luncheon plate so it doesn't look as big to them. If somebody is losing weight, I want abundance of calories in what they're eating during the day. But on the other hand, if they're gaining weight, so we talked earlier about how some people can have more impulsivity control. That means too things like If there's a package of cookies, they'll eat a package of cookies rather than filtering their behavior and having 2 cookies as they might have in the past. So sometimes we have to hide the calories, we have to portion it out, or we have to make judicious choices. So for instance, instead of a bowl of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, maybe they can have a frozen yogurt, or maybe they can have a Skinny Cow that might be 90 calories as opposed to 500 calories. So they're still having the quality of life. They're still having foods that they enjoy and are pleasurable, but we're not packing on the calories. Another strategy to employ sometimes is to just give one item at a time. So instead of, again, all of the dinner out on the plate all at once, just give a little bowl. Here's your corn, good, here's this, and here's that. So again, they don't feel like they're eating lots of food at once. So the most important is to remember that we need to supervise and assist as necessary so that we're helping them eat at such a time that they're having struggles.